What's up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and jam-packed show for you today as I fiddle with my microphone because apparently I couldn't do enough of that while I was in the 4 or 5 minute pre-show. So that's something I'm trying to do now. Give everybody kind of a chance to get in, give you about 5 minutes leeway time. Plus, let's be real here, by the time you get the YouTube, Twitch, Facebook notification, I've probably been live for a couple minutes at the very least. And that's before the notification goes out. Forget the fact that there's going to be some weird timing when it comes... Why are you being weird? Why is this being weird? OBS is giving me a whole bunch of warning signals here, like, warning, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Yes, but going with like a 5-ish minute pre-show here, just trying to get everything up and running, up and going, just making sure that everybody's got a chance to get in here. Everybody's got a chance to sit back, relax, grab a beverage of your choice, and just enjoy the show. Listen to yours truly talking about disc golf and other random crap. Because that's what I do here. I talk about disc golf. Look at this. I got all this disc golf stuff here. Look at this. I got the Raging Inferno from Quest AT here. The first disc to have these dimpled edges like a golf ball. It doesn't. It's not PDGA approved, or it was. This thing's hard as a rock. And... Woo, bless me, thank me. It also is very uncontrollable, to say the least. But then, I got also other cooler stuff, like the Maiden here, the Hand Eye Supply Maiden. But we're not here to talk about discs. We're here to talk about disc golf. We're here to talk about the fun, the great, the awesome. We've got the Portland Open happening right now, and you're probably wondering, hey, Joe, at Joe's Disc Golf, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Facebook, at joesdiscgolf.com, which is finally back up and running. Dear Lord, that was a nightmare. Bring it back. Zen, calm. Oh, home. Serenity now. Serenity now. Hoochie mama. If you guys know that one, tip of the cap to you, good sir. But, where was I even going with this? I don't even know. Sometimes I just start a sentence, and I'm curious to see where it goes, just like the rest of you. Anyway, Portland Open, you're asking yourself, hey, Joe, at Joe's Disc Golf, now I remember where I'm at. Just had to go and do a little repeat. Where was your preview show? How come you didn't talk about the Portland Open? Well, I don't talk... No, I'm kidding. I don't talk... I didn't get a chance to get any of the research done that I wanted to get this done. I had some family stuff come up that was part of the reason that Half in the Bag didn't happen this weekend. Part of it was, other hosts out of town, weddings, Memorial Day weekend, enjoying the long holiday here, and this cord is getting in my way and annoying me. And then I had some bad news from a close family member about some stuff that's going on. Everything is fine now. We're good. We're happy. We're healthy. Everything's fine. Nobody's dead. Everybody's alive. We're all good. It's just, it really threw me off. Had some rough days here and there, but all good. All bueno. Everything's fine. Everything's good, great, grand. No yelling on the bus. I'm just pulling out all the movie quotes right now. But apparently my stream, according to OBS, is all over the board. All over the board, yes. Let's try to fix some of that issue there. And looks like we'll have to maybe reconnect. Refresh. Refresh. Maybe. Maybe. Refresh. 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 What are you doing? Okay, hang on. Oh. There we go. Looks like we're good. We're all up 0. What are you talking about 0? Everything's still going, as far as I can tell. It says we're still live with YouTube. We're not still live with Twitch, apparently. We're good with Facebook. Are we even getting audio here? We're not getting audio here. I love this. I love when all this happens here. What? Stop. Start. All right, maybe. Almost. Maybe. Here we go. Are we good? Okay. All right. I heard myself. I can hear myself there. Looks like we're still good. For all of you listening on the podcast, sorry, but on the audio version, but there seem to be some technical difficulties there. It wouldn't be a Joe's Disc Golf podcast without some technical difficulties here. And now everybody can see me, hear me, touch me, feel me. Talking about the Who right there, man. Talking about the Who. If you aren't on the Discord channel, you should go over there and get on the Discord channel, as I mentioned before. Again, as I said, issues came up. Couldn't get that out. Couldn't get the pre-show done like I'd wanted, dealing with family stuff. But as I also mentioned, everybody is good, great, grand. We're all happy, healthy, smiling, bouncing, and jumping, and having a grand old time here in the game of life. But we're here to not talk about my personal life. We're here to talk about disc golf. And the Portland Open has already had controversy. Yes, dear viewer, dear listener, there has already been controversy. And I don't know what we're going to do about it because, well, the commentators couldn't text anyone about it. Not that it would have made a difference because it was Paige Pierce committing the rules violation. And I don't know if Elaine would have texted anyone else on her card, if their caddy, to make sure that the proper rules were being enforced, because she is very, very concerned about the rules and, very, very concerned that someone might get disqualified as long as their name isn't Paige Pierce. But, that's just me and speculation. What do I know? I know that Paige Pierce took an illegal stance. That would be the violation. Maybe foot fault. Either way, illegal stance. She threw with one supporting body part in OB, touching OB, actually physically OB. So what the rule is you have to have both feet or all supporting points inbounds when you release the disc. So your disc could be right up on the OB line. You could take your meter in, which if you're inbounds, it's perpendicular. If you were out of bounds and come back in, it's 1 meter on an arc here. I just got to remember, if I go this way, it looks like I'm just pointing at you. If I go up and down like that, then you're on that arc. And so what happened was she had 1 foot OB, 1 foot IBS. No, that's probably not right. But I do BS. Anyway, not called. So she could break the rules. It's fine. No big deal. I didn't see this because last week I told you about how I canceled my Disc Golf Network subscription. So I'm finding this out all via Twitter, and I doubt it will be in the GK I think she was on women's lead card. Feature card, whatever you want to call it. I think it's GK, or is it Central Coast? Chat can help me out here, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Either way, whoever has it, I doubt that will actually make it. Who knows if it'll even be addressed? Who knows? That's one more stroke. As it stands right now, Paige Pierce is not doing well. I believe she is sitting in 10th. I want to say about 10th place here. I'm actually looking this up live right now to see where we're at and how she is. And I nailed it. She is tied for 10th with Madison Tamiano, Maria Oliva, Erica Stinchcomb, and Missy Gannon. Sorry, Madison, if I said your last name incorrectly, to say the least, because words are hard and talking hard. But yeah, that's what happened there. And, of course, I find out about this on Twitter. I find out through Brody Smith. I follow him on Twitter because he posted, and I will quote because my response has gotten a lot of traction here. So I want to see the whole thing. Show me the whole response there. Are you allowed to throw with a foot out of bounds? Nope, and Paige just did it was the reply. I said, did the commentators text anyone about it? And they replied to me, I'm not going to give this information out. You can go find it on Twitter. Nope, it was Paige, and so she didn't say anything. I said, I sent the gif of Mr. Feeney saying, let me show you my surprised face. Yes, I am not surprised. Now, again, if you're the commentator, you could say, oh, hey, looks like, in this instance, Paige has 1 foot out of bounds. That is a stance violation. So that if somebody calls her on it, that is a 1-stroke violation. Boom, done, perfect. That's all you need to say. That's it. That's all you need to say. You don't need to just whip out your phone and start going, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I gotta text everybody. I gotta say, hey, everybody else is catty except Paige. Hey, guess what? You should call her on a stance violation. I mean, everybody should be paying attention and looking to enforce the rules appropriately, not going all bananas, bonkers, batshit crazy about it. But that's how that goes. You should be enforcing the rules. This is, again, I don't know if this would have made a huge difference. I doubt it would have made a difference at all. But again, I reiterate that there should be marshals out on the course. Someone who can just go, yep, boop, dude, chicky pie, duderino, guess what? You had this, you did this, saw it, sorry, here's your stroke penalty. Boom, done. No problems. Someone had suggested on Reddit that they have referees, essentially, is what they called it. I'm trying to quote from memory. Good luck there. That lead and chase card should have referees. But then you get into the whole issue of, well, that's great. The rules are being strictly enforced for 8 of the, let's say, women's field, 8 of the 50 women out there. So there's 42 women who are basically getting away with anything or could get away with anything. It would be very beneficial to not be on the lead or chase card in that circumstance. So I don't think that would be a very good idea, but that is something that was floated. Having someone like that, having a snitch on every single card is kind of weird, in my opinion. And yes, I did say snitch, but that's what that is. You're a snitch. You're a snitch, Harry. Not a golden one, a brown one. And I think, but marshals, having them out on the course would be a good idea to help with that, help with pace of play, help all around. And Paige definitely got away with one. She got a better stance than she probably would have otherwise. And that's just not cool. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't understand why we're having so many struggles enforcing the rules across the board. This is the latest blatant example of something like this happening. Huge issue there. And for a Pro Tour event, for a major event, Silver Series, whatever, that's fine if you don't. But I think for Pro Tours, for the Elite Series and for majors, you should have marshals out there helping with pace of play, helping with all the potential issues that could come up. You have all these marshals out there, and then guess what? You have people who can answer questions and get things taken care of in a timely manner. Wow. Yay! The more you know. Yeah, there. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that one. I don't know if chat has anything else to say about this. Unfortunately, on YouTube, you cannot stream in 4K or 1440p and have ultra low latency mode. I know that you are super upset about that, but if you guys are out in chat right now, feel free to say something. Questions, comments, concerns, screams of pain. I'll do my best to answer them all. You can also head over to joesdiscgolf.com, which is finally back up and running. Holy crap, was that an ordeal. So I had to take it from the previous hosting provider, which was not doing a very good job, to the current hosting provider. And in that transition, things got screwed up, and it was just so terrible. I don't know what I'm doing gesturing with my hands there. I am having a good day, RJ. How does the video look? How does the audio sound? I hope it sounds like... Oh, crap. I forgot to change my shirt. Has that really been up there the whole time? Do you know what it is, but is it clear to the other people out on the stream what it might be? Because I just realized. Oh, crap. I totally forgot to change my shirt. So we're going to go do that real quick while I cover up my naughty bits here. Whoopsies. There we go. All right. Okay, I am back now. And, oops. Yeah, because RJ and I work for the same company. He can easily spot the very obvious letters, even just a glint of them because of the unique color and font. But, change it into the Joe's Disc Golf shirt, which you can go get a Joe's Disc Golf shirt at joesdiscgolf.com/shop, merch, something. I don't know. Shut up, Nightbot. Dear Lord. My opinion, Paige Pierce is literally getting worse with every tournament these days. Yeah, I know. Some bot on here keeps trying to get your attention. Yeah, the bot is supposed to, every 15 minutes or so, if enough people are chatting, put up links to the audio version of this, put up links to the Discord server, put up links to joesdiscgolf.com. But apparently it doesn't want to work on YouTube. It'll work just fine on Twitch, which I have exactly one person watching on Twitch, and I believe that one person is me. But somehow I have 40 followers. People end up watching the show on Twitch after, on the video on demand, which is fine. That's great. That's awesome. It just kind of cracks me up that nobody watches live on Twitch, even though that's Twitch's shtick, is to get live. And hopefully, if I can get another 397 people next year, we can do try to do as many of the Match Madness, Meet Your Match Madness. Words are so hard right now on YouTube live. If not, the Facebook thing is still working out great. Well, my favorite local tournament coming up is not coming up that soon. It's the Three Rivers Open, because the Three Rivers Open is the best. I actually really like playing that one. Fort Wayne Outfitters / Mastodon Open was my favorite with the temp course. Oh, that temp course going around PFW was so much fun. But it is great. And going back to the topic at hand, yeah, I think it's a combination of Paige actually not playing as well as she has in years past and the field catching up to her. Because for a while, a lot of these courses were basically the same as the MPO layout, just with a different par. So it helped to be a big bomber, and Paige has got a cannon. I mean, that's just kind of a statement of fact. She was, at the time, the farthest throwing woman out there, and now there are more people up close to her, so that distance isn't as big of an advantage. And when she was throwing those big bombers and, out driving everybody by 150, 200 feet, who cares if she went out of bounds? She was well ahead of everybody else, and it did not matter. Now that courses are being designed closer to FPO abilities and not just taking the MPO and switching the par around, it's making it a little more difficult for her. She's got to rely more on technique and touch shots, which I'm not saying she can't do, but there's more people who can, and it just kind of levels the playing field. It'd be like if all the courses were an extra 250 feet longer, and and Simon Lizotte back in the day would just be like, yeah, I'm just going to outthrow all of you. I mean, that's kind of to an extent what Eagle McMahon has done on some of the golf courses, which he is not back this year yet, unfortunately. wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back in the appropriate amount of time, and it would behoove him to chillax for this year, take 2022 off. You have a long, prolific disc golf career ahead of you, and just rest and relax and get better, physically with your shoulder. Haven't heard any updates on that. It is really nice to see Simon back up there too. It's really exciting. And I don't know how he's doing right now. I know MPO is currently playing because, of course, this is this is over on the West Coast. Things are a bit delayed. Simon Lizotte is currently tied for third, 9 down through 16. Garrett Gerthy is 10 down. He's finished. And Isaac Robinson has the hot round on the men's side at 12 under par. On the women's side, it is Valerie Montejano 5 down, Rebecca Cox 4 down, Juliana Corver and Owen Scoggins at 3 down each. So there's definitely, when Paige makes a mistake on the course, there are more people to capitalize on it. It's not just back in the day where it was Katrina and Paige and then the rest of the field. Now it's kind of Katrina, Paige, Kristen Tatar when she's in town because, she lives in Estonia. She doesn't come into town all that often, but when she does, she kicks some ass and takes some names. That is for sure. And then you now have Valerie Montejano, who's really looking well. That is a value buy for sure for Dynamic Discs. They better be ready to pony up some serious money for next year because she is playing absolutely lights out. Absolutely lights out. And Mason Ford, who is not... I won't say he won't win a Pro Tour event. I think there has to be the perfect confluence of events for him to win in terms of maybe people not playing up to their best and him playing out of his mind. But he is a solid top 10 to 15 player. He's always right in that range. Always right in that range. And he is another good value pick for Dynamic Discs. Let's see. What chat do we have here? Nice to see Simon. Yep. What's wrong with Macbeth? Great question. Yes, according to the resident theater tech major on Half in the Bag Disc Golf podcast, which you can catch on Tuesdays, according to Ian, his name is Macbeth, and in the theater world, if you say Macbeth while you're doing the play Macbeth, bad things happen. So in his mind, in his theater brain, because he is named Macbeth, he is doomed to die because people have said Macbeth. And The Simpsons even made fun of that when they went to England. Other than that, does your headset beep or anything? No, my headset does not beep every time someone says something or comments. Thank God. Oh, that would be awful. According to, I've heard everything from he's dealing with some kind of injury to he's just off his game to I don't know. But the Macbeth we're seeing out there is just not consistent. It's really weird. Like we'll see him, he'll go shoot 5 over at WR Jackson and then go, screw you guys, I'm Paul Macbeth, and shoot 16 down. Like, that's insane. And I know, I understand a woods course like WR Jackson, there is a little bit of luck that goes into it where, you just miss that tree or you just tickle that branch and it knocks you into a better spot than a worse spot, or you get that little bit of skip forward that gets you just around the corner. And I'm not saying it was all luck that he shot 16 down. He is a phenomenal disc golfer when he is on. But there are some elements where, maybe instead of a 16 down, it's a 14 down, which is still insanely impressive. But I digress. He just doesn't look like himself. Sometimes it looks like a confidence issue. I haven't seen on coverage. He hasn't been on coverage all that often because he hasn't been playing well. But the bits I've seen of him, there's no obvious, yes, he is clearly limping, or, he throws and he grabs his arm or his shoulder, or he just does, one of those weird, he throws and he's like, my shoulder. Guys, no. he's just not, he's not Paul Macbeth, and I don't know what's going on. On top of that, you got Ricky, who had to drop out and won't be back until the Preserve. So he's missing Portland Open and then Beaver State Fling. And then I think they go back to Minnesota to the Preserve, which is, that is what it is. He's dealing with Lyme disease, and I assume, I'm taking his word for it. I've never had to deal with Lyme disease. Lyme disease is not something I deal with in my practice. I deal with sports injuries. And while this does have sports injury issues, he's got that swelling in his knee that just won't go away. And my initial thought before I knew he had Lyme disease, I didn't know that was something that could happen with Lyme disease. I immediately went to, okay, his knee is clearly swollen. Did he step funny? Did he do something funny? Could it be a meniscal injury? Could it be an irritation? Could he have subluxed patella? So his kneecap goes in and out real quick. Relatively minor compared to especially an ACL. But I was just curious. I was like, what's going on? He says it's related to Lyme, and I believe him because why not? I haven't seen evidence to the contrary. It's not like, Rick, he was out there breakdancing before his round, and then he just, it was game over right after that. Breakdancing Rick. That's how he got his raptor legs. But yeah, he's not playing well. Paige isn't playing well. Sounds like Evelina Salonen at the Heinola Open, part of the Prodigy Pro Disc Tour over in Europe. Get this. Her putting percentage has been low 40s at best when she was over here. At best. Her best days were in the 40 percentile. Her C1X, so skip anything inside of 11 feet, which we have seen her miss from inside 11 feet. More than once. Her putting percentage was 82% for the tournament. 82%. It was like 27 for 33-ish, if that math works out. If that math checks out, I'm not sure. What? What? Was this an accident? Because, UDIS stats are kind of limited if it's outside of 11 feet, which those were all outside of 11 feet. What the hell? That's awesome. Like, I hope that she's playing well. If she can shoot 82% when she comes back here, look out, everybody, including Kristen Tatar, because every single tournament, she was number one, or number two in strokes gained tee to green, and absolutely dead last by a mile or several kilometers. I don't know what the conversion is. There's absolutely no way to know what that conversion factor is ever. It could be 100 miles. It could be 100 kilometers. It could be 1 kilometer. I don't know. I don't know at all. But, she was always dead last in strokes gained in the green because she couldn't hit the broadside of a barn to save her life. And yet now she can, which I'm happy. That's going to be exciting. I'm really excited to see what happens when all the Europeans come back over for Worlds, and potentially, I know Kristen Tatar is coming back for the women's national or U.S. women's championship in Madison, which one of the former hosts, one of the founders of the Half in the Bag, the guy who was most in the bag, Ben, is he says he's going to the U.S. Women's Championship in Madison, Wisconsin. Being from up there behind the cheddar curtain, eh? He is going to go over there, and he is going to go watch the women throw, and then he's going to have himself a spotted cow and some cheese curds, because that's how he rolls. It is. It really is. Cheese curds and beer, nothing better there. I think that's about all I got to talk about with that. Moving on to the other topic I have here, which I believe is, it should be helpful if YouTube's page wasn't a POS in terms of your streaming here. Yes, Fieldwork tips and more. These are some of the things that I have personally done to improve my game. And it's not just going out into a field and ripping your drivers 110% for an hour and a half. I have done that before. I went out there and I worked the crap out of my backhand and my forehand, and the next day I could hardly throw a disc because I overdid it. Yes, I hope it's not for his wife's sake. Twitch, what are you doing? I got a Twitch notification. Ah ha ha. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. The other host of the Half in the Bag Disc Golf Podcast is currently streaming on Twitch. You can follow him at PopRFresh. Twitch.tv/PopRFresh. Shut up, Nightbot. Dear Lord. And yes, I hope he doesn't have cheese curds. So going out and ripping everything as hard as you can, as far as you can, is a terrible life choice. I'm not saying you shouldn't practice some max distance stuff, but honestly, you should limit it to a handful of throws. 5, 6, 7 throws of forehand and backhand, but pick one, and that's about it. Because you're going to save your shoulder. Because how often do you go max distance on every single shot when you're out playing? Outside of, like, if I right now go out and try to play probably Portland Open, either course, I'm going to be throwing pretty much as hard as I can to even try to break even. Try. I didn't say I will. I will try to be even. What I really did was focus on my technique, breaking everything down. And Overthrow Disc Golf has some great stuff there. So does Dynamic Discs Physics of Flight. They have some great stuff on how to throw backhands, how to throw forehands. My forehand through baseball and just years of trial and error is actually really good. So I'm very happy with my forehand. I don't have any pain. I can get some crazy distance out of it for forehand. And I just say, you know what? There's other things out there. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to touch it. But if you're trying to learn that, go for it. I know what I'm doing. I don't know how to convey to you what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be conceited or anything like, oh, I know what I'm doing and you plebs have no idea. No, it's mostly I am not a great coach when it comes to form like that. So I know what I am doing with my body. I cannot verbalize how you should do that with your body. That's kind of where I'm getting at with that. And G-Bus, Nightbot, shut up, you. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. What I've done recently in the last couple weeks, ever since the Meet Your Match Madness has ended, I have worked on the shortfalls of my game. Putting and upshots. Distance, pretty good. The problem I have right now is I have a child, and I cannot get out to the course to work on my distance off the tee with accuracy. Unfortunately, where I practice is just a wide open football field, and it's actually currently being torn up to have a new track put in around it. So it makes things rather difficult to practice. So I go to a completely empty field. At least before, I had the goalposts and I could kind of make things up and kind of work things around and try to hit certain angles and do that. I try to hit my angles and I try to get it, but without a reference point, it makes things rather difficult. What I've really tried to work on are my short distance shots from about 125 feet to 200 feet. So I take my putters and my mid-ranges, and I go out to about 125 feet from a target. Put a target out there, whether it's my bag, whether it's a flag or a post or something out there, and just go, all right, this is 125 feet, and with my backhand, I just look at the target, and I try to throw right at it. And I'll take my putters, I'll take anything I would throw on an upshot. I don't really use my mids until I get to about 175 to 200 feet. That is kind of a personal preference because I can get my putters to about 150 feet. If I push it, I lose accuracy, but I could get it there. So it depends on how accurate I need that shot to be. About 125 feet, I'm taking my 2 judges, I'm taking my Berg, I'm taking my zone, I'm taking my harp, and just taking these and throwing backhand shots and trying to get it close. Not, I'll practice throwing it straight. Obviously, with the judge and the Berg, that's not a big deal. With the harp and the zone, not so much. So those are more of hyzer routes. Or I'll practice Anheuser shots with that. And I'll take that and I'll rep that out. And I'll do 20, 25, 30 shots going 125 feet. And then I'll back it up to 150 feet. Same thing. And I'll do that with my forehand. I will do that with my backhand. And I'll make sure that that's kind of what happens there. And I appreciate that the putter let me know that the putter looks solid. It's more so confidence with the putter. Pulling, I don't know if it's an Evelina, because she just had no confidence at all. She had the yips hardcore. But for me, working on putting, it was, towards the end, it became a mental game. And I was struggling a little bit there. And we all have our good weeks. We all have our bad weeks. I want to make sure that my bad weeks, I'm trying to get to the point where my bad weeks are on par with my old good weeks. And so what I've done is I've really focused on moving back to putting, because the upshot thing, 150 feet, it's the same as 125 feet, is the same as 175 feet. I take them and I throw 20 to 30, depending on how I'm feeling, upshots, forehand, 20 to 30, backhand, and try to get it there. I've actually found out that I've got more control with my forehand than I thought, and I'm actually feeling more confident with throwing putter forehand shots over short distances. Just trying to dial it in a little bit more. Just trying. With the putter, though, working on what I struggled with was throughout the entire winter, I was getting 90+% from 25 feet in a closed off room with no wind, 0 wind. So when I went outside at the beginning, it was great because there's almost no wind. So it was like, boom, nailed it, 25, whatever. Eyes closed, watch this, boom. And then the wind started to come in. So what I've been able to do recently was get my practice basket back outside and working on 25 footers from there. And I will tell you that I went from hitting 90% to hitting about 50%. And that was rough. For further clarification, I use a marksman style basket. It's the Mach Shift in the skinny chain position. So on a regular basket, it would probably be up around 75 to 80%, because the way that the Mach Shift is, if you hit a little bit to the left, the way the chains bounce up and come out, it pops it out. If you hit too far to the right, you're probably not going to catch, if you hit too far to the right, it pops it out. If you hit too far to the left, you're probably going to come down outside the basket. It's just not going to go in. But that's kind of how that goes. That's the point of the marksman basket or any of those skinny chain baskets. So what I've done is just done that and gone for 25 feet, dealing with the wind. Today, I went out, practiced it, did 100 throws, did them in sets of 10. My best set was 9 out of 10. My worst set was 2 out of 10. In my backyard, the wind was swirling, kind of interesting. So it was fun to just watch a putter go right at the basket, right middle of the chains, smacked right out of the air. I was like, okay, so I'll throw the next one just a little bit higher. I'll throw it like 3/4 of the way up. And it's going, and then the wind swirls and it lifts it right over the basket. And I'm going, okay, that's how today's going. That is how today is going. I ended up, I think I was 60% from 25 feet in the wind outside. So pretty happy with that. Now, what I do is keep track on an Excel sheet because I like looking at stats. And I not only like to look at the stats, I have them, there's an option where you can color code everything, and it highlights your best ones are dark green, your worst ones are dark red, and it goes anywhere in between, yellow, red, green, orange, whole bunch of colors there. Great stuff. I'm thinking about getting that up on the website so you guys can see what it is and copy it. What's nice is when you use the sum function, wow, enunciation there. The sum function, you have to, what's great is you just start typing in a number and then a comma, a number and a comma. So that's my way of keeping track of if I've done all 10 or not. I also have a rolling 3-day average and a rolling 5-day average to see if I noticed any trends. And I am currently trending in a downward fashion. Oh boy. Oh boy. It is bad. It is really bad. But getting better. Very much so. Getting better. Those are kind of the tips and tricks that I have with that. I believe that's about all I have right now for this podcast. We're sitting at about 40 minutes, unless there are any other questions, comments, concerns, screams of pain. I have concurrently 0 and 5 viewers out there. I really don't know. I really want to know how YouTube does that. Like, how do you calculate if someone's watching or not? And how can I get, at the same time, 2 different numbers with my stream analytics here? I don't understand. I really don't. But as I stall for a little bit more time here, I think that's about it. Got some upcoming tournaments here. Got the summer solstice happening. Though that's going to be fun. I believe that is at Sweeney Park. I'll be excited to play that one. Hopefully I do well. Best I've ever finished in a tournament ever is 2nd place. That is the best I've ever done. And that was at an unsanctioned event, of course. So I shot out of my mind, got on the lead card, shot pretty well 2nd round, but not as well as one of the other guys on the card. And, you know, it happens. It happens. We all have our days, and they're up and they're down. They're left and they're right. But it is a ton of fun. If you ever get a chance to come out to the Fort Wayne area, hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram. Love to play around. Looking to start a series. Joe McMatch play, as it has been named, I believe, with RJ and Ben because of my decent play in match play, hopefully. Want to get a series going out maybe once a month out there with that. There's also a new site that I'm starting, Disc Golf Healthy, where I'm trying to get workouts and exercise programs all up and all set for free. That's what I'm doing. Value-based. There are no ads. Like, there's no Google ads or anything like that. There are obviously sponsored links. So I will have Amazon links to the equipment I use that I use constantly in my sports medicine practice. Hit the mic. That I constantly use in my sports medicine practice. This is stuff that I recommend you buy if you're going to buy something, because I know it's going to last. It lasts for a long time in my clinical setting, which will definitely get more use per day than what you will use. Even if you use it once a day, every day, I guarantee that the exercise bands that I have in my office will get used at least 5 to 6 times a day, every single day. So, again, trying to get that up and running, discgolfhealthy.com. You can bookmark it now, as it just says it's coming soon. But coming soon to a website near you, which is everywhere now that we all have cell phones and amazing technology here. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for just being awesome and being out there. If you get a great tree kick, don't forget to thank Jesus. And if you get kicked deeper into the woods, well, you need to reflect and repent because you have transgressed against Jesus. Thank you all for watching. I've been Joe. You've been awesome, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.